Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil, and I have put together a deck utilizing the first Pokemon EX card available in PTCG Live, which is Mimikyu EX. It's got 190 HP. It has 2 attacks. Void Return does 30 damage. You can switch it to the bench. Not overly exciting. The second attack is the more useful one. Energy Burst for 3 energy. It does 30 damage for each energy attached to both active Pokemon. That's yours and your active. So I have one of that in this deck. Well, as an EX, it gives up 2 prizes also. So for 2 prizes, it's not super tanky. It's low on the HP side compared to what these typically are at 190, but with the mod, it's based on energy. If your opponent active Pokemon has a bunch of energy, it could be useful. This is very much the secondary attacker in this deck. It's a Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX deck, which has the Underworld Door ability. Once per turn, you can attach a psychic energy card from your hand to one of your benched psychic Pokemon. If you do that, then you draw 2 cards. Not only does it accelerate energy, but it draws for you also, so a terrific ability. And then the Max Geist attack does 10 plus 30 for more per psychic energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So you get the energy spread around on all your VMAXs on your Mimikyu EX, and you go to it. Deck's also got a Lumineon V to help draw some, Pumpkaboo to bump stadiums, and then Drapion V for the Mew matchup. Playing 13, just basic psychic energy, kind of a mix of different trainers, supporters, Marnie, Boss, Adventures, Discover to help get the Vs, Flannery, I think Roxanne, Serena, Research, a couple draw cards. One of the key cards for any psychic deck really is going to be Fog Crystal. It lets you search for a psychic energy or a basic psychic Pokemon. So it helps you get set up initially your first turn, getting those Ice Rider Vs into play, but then it also helps set up get your energies in hand later, because you have to have an energy to use Ice Rider's ability. The other thing I want to point out, because this channel, one of the points of this channel is to focus approach the game as a budget player, is acquiring Mimikyu EX. There's 2 ways to acquire it. You can craft it for 750 credits. That's the last currency on the right. Or you can purchase the Mimikyu EX box for 1,000 crystals, which I think is the much better way to approach it, and that's what I did. You get a second Pokemon, not a great one, also. Then you get 4 Crown Zenith packs, which you get some Pokemon, and you'll get some credits for cards that get dusted that way. So I would encourage you to, if you want to try it out, get the Mimikyu EX box. And if you need to get some more Shadow Rider VMAXs, which I did, I got to say, then there is the Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX League Battle Deck, which you can buy in the store also. So that's the way to go with that. So we'll jump into the ladder, see how this deck can perform. It has Mimikyu EX, obviously the first EX available, which is fun to have, but it's not what the deck is all about. The deck is really about Shadow Rider, but within this video, I'm going to try to push to get Mimikyu EX into attacking, even though it might not be optimal. I only have one Mimikyu EX. First, I only own one. I could pick up a second one, but it very much is the secondary attacker with the low HP. I don't imagine there's going to be many situations where I actually want to use 2 of them, and I do have Ordinary Rod in the deck. So even if I decide I want to get 2 into play, I do have that potential ability to do that over the course of the game. So get one Shadow Rider. Getting Shadow Rider set up early is important. So Deancey, which can't be gusted. Greninja. So I'm going second. So since I'm going second, I have an energy. This is a perfect opportunity to use Cresselia. So that's great. It's a basic psychic Pokemon that will accelerate energy. If it's your first turn going second, you accelerate 3 energy. So a very nice way to help get things set up. So I will take advantage of that to get things set up. And what am I up against? Mawile V. Okay. So what's going to happen with this game here. Not entirely sure about my opponent's deck. So we'll see what happens here. So the one attack might discard energy. That will make things difficult for me. I do have Training Court to get some energy back, and as I said before, I do have Ordinary Rod, which recovers energy. So I have 3 Fog Crystals, so I want to get 1 Cresselia. I only have 1 in hand. Alright, so 1 Shadow Rider's prized, and 1 Shadow Rider V is prized. So that's okay, good to know. So Cresselia, I'm going to rope because I want to use Cresselia's attack. It looks like 3 energies. I might actually want to, I could set up the attack with Mimikyu next turn. I might want to do that. That's probably the safest play here. Probably the safest play. So I'll use another Fog Crystal, get another Shadow Rider into play. I think I'll hold on to 1 Fog Crystal for next turn. And what am I going to do? Do I want to attach to Mimikyu EX? I think I do. I might as well, because I'm not so sure I'm going to be able to attack with Shadow Rider next turn, because right now I don't have a way to, I need to evolve and get energy attached. So I'm going to, right, it takes 3, so I'm going to throw all 3 onto Mimikyu. I could have attached Air Balloon to Cresselia, perhaps. That would guarantee my attack, although I can retreat for 1 also, so I have that option. So right now it does 90 damage if against any Pokemon, assuming my opponent doesn't have any energy. So Mawile, which has that gust attack, so that could be unfortunate, right? They can 90, actually they come up 90 and 90, so they'll come up 10 short, I believe, on my Mimikyu, so that extra 10 HP might save the day for me. We'll see what happens. But also because of that ability, it's like, all right, so Clara, there to get something back in hand. All right, see what's going to happen here. So next turn, I might actually just attack with Mimikyu EX. We will see what happens. 3, 4, 5. So I would do 150 damage to Mawile if that's an opportunity. So my opponent gets to choose which Pokemon they want to hit into. I believe they come up 10 short with Mimikyu, so that's okay. Yep, they're 10 short, which is very important here. So what do I have? That's not great. Not great at all. So I could. So this guy will hit for 120. And maybe I should do that, because that way they might gust me up and knock me out, but I can knock him out next turn with this play, right? Retreat. He's going to do 120. I don't think I've used my Fog. I sit on my Fog Crystal. Do 120. I have the, as long as my Mimikyu doesn't get knocked out, I can knock out the Mawile V-Star with my Mimikyu next turn. I won't be in a great position then, but okay. So they retreated off, which also gets them out of range of, well, my Mawile now does 4 times 3, 120. I need 1 more energy attached. I could attach a 4th energy to Mimikyu also to boost up my damage also. So we'll see what happens. I don't know what the play will be here. I might just not attack Mew with my Cresselia also. That's certainly possible. So probably, are they going to accelerate? So they're not going to boss me. Obviously, they could do cross switcher. I don't imagine that they have that, but you know, I'm not exactly sure how a Mawile deck is built, I gotta say. So I'm not sure how much retreating and into Mew and using its ability. I don't know if that really helped them or not, I gotta say, but we'll see. So they got Lumineon V, which I have in this deck also, but it's prized. I'm pretty sure it was prized. So I guess Mew's going to... No, Mew can't retreat, right? They retreated already, I believe. There's no log, so I'm having to try to remember. For me, it's the end of a somewhat long day. I'm a little tired, but I'm pretty sure they retreated Mawile at the start of the turn. So they have a stadium in play, so that path. So even if I get a Shadow Rider, I can't use the ability, which is unfortunate. All right, so I want to attach an energy, I guess, to a Shadow Rider. I think that's the play. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 3. I could attach to Mimikyu to try to really get a big attack set up for next turn. I'm going to do that. I'm going to really say, hey, I'm going to do some big damage with my Mimikyu. Because I'm not so sure I'm going to be able to set up my Shadow Rider at this point. I don't have a ton of confidence in that play happening. All right, I have Boss. That is very nice. Very nice indeed. Also, let's see what my opponent does here. So they've got, what, 140 HP damage, HP on it. So right now I have 4 times 3 is 120. Okay, they got their... Wait, oh, they have the Sky Seal Stone. What was that? Something got all weird zoomy there, didn't it? So it takes one more prize. So I want to... That's unfortunate for me. But I do not want to have... So that's not ideal for me. So I can't boss up a card, right? Because it affects effects from supporters on their benched Pokemon, and a boss switches the benched with the active, so it affects the bench is what it does. So I will just hit in here for the 10. It sets up my ability to retreat next turn if that's what I want to do. Because right now I have access to another energy with my Fog Crystal. I could retreat, do a hard retreat, and knock him out with Cresselia. That's an option I'm looking at right now. Right, so he's got 2 V-Stars, different arts, which is fine. So Lumineon, Mawile, Manaphy, Mew. Okay. So Raikou V, Lightning, 20 per benched Pokemon. So a bit of a odd deck. So that's a very nice card for me to see. Very nice. So I can then grab the Shadow Rider VMAX. So what do I want to do here? Do I want to send up a Cresselia? No, I'll try this. It's a bit of an awkward play, I gotta say. We'll see what happens. So they couldn't knock me out. So I can... So I'm going to want to... Well, I'd like to retreat him though, right? So I think I make that play, and then I'm going to get the VMAX, I think. I'm going to have to switch though, right? I mean, maybe I get research. Is research going to be my better play? All right, I think I'm going to get research because I really need to get pieces. I need a couple pieces, so I think research is best for me. So bump the stadium. Let me throw down another Shadow Rider. Which is good there. I will attach to the bench because if he's one of my potential attackers. I didn't get what I needed. That stinks. Okay, stinks. All right, so do I want to throw down a Drapion? No. All right, it didn't work out, unfortunately. So, at this point, I think I can get the VMAX next turn. Let me thin my deck. One more card. See what I want. I'll grab a Pumpkaboo, so I'm safe from path next turn, and I end turn. So that's not great. My Shadow Rider is going to get knocked out. Well, I can't attack with Mimikyu. That's sad for me, but I will get the knockout with my VMAX next turn. So while I'm not going to get to attack with Mimikyu, Mimikyu has helped me a bit this game. That's okay. Bye-bye, Mimikyu EX. It was nice knowing you. And I can't, and Adventurer's Discovery does not help with EXs, so I will attack. I just need to manually attach here, so that's okay. So I'm going to Adventurer's Discovery. Am I going to get enough damage to knock him out, though? Well, time will tell, won't it? Time will tell. Yeah, I will go I'll get 3 VMAXs into play. That will be quite nice. Quite nice indeed. So now Shadow Rider is just going to do some Shadow Rider type things. I do have a Training Court, so I can get energy back into hands because I need to have one more energy to attach manually to my active. So let's see what we have. So use my Heavy Ball. I want, get another Shadow Rider. That's always beneficial. Well, usually. I think it will be in this case. So what do I have? 4 energy. And I'll get back to energy. Well, let me do this first. Get my energy. Attach. Let me use my rod also. I want my Mimikyu back. Right? I'll take 2 of these energies. And I will just, I have Pumpkaboo to bunk path, so I'm set up reasonably okay. 220. Again, Shadow Rider is a very nice Pokemon. I really haven't played much Shadow Rider before this. But, he's pretty tanky at 320. It's kind of typical for VMAXs, but because we've moved towards 2 prize cards, there's not many things that can get to 320. Now it's weak to dark, and Mew and Weezing are obviously around now, both because it's giving it away in live and it is seeing play in IRL events also. So Raikou can do about 200 damage. The good news is he's gonna have to 2-hit me, and if he can't gust up, my other Pokemon on the bench is going to have to 2 or 3 hit my other VMAX. So I think I kind of like my position here. We will see what happens. What's my count of Fog Crystals? I'm down to 1. Okay. So that's okay. So I want to, let's think here. Nope. So I got the W. I was thinking and thought a little longer than they liked, which was fine. I mean, they were in trouble. I was going to take the knockout. I was trying to set up the next turn. So there, the deck worked reasonably well here. Let me jump in another game, see. And I pushed towards the EX on that one. Actually, the Mimikyu EX I think made sense in that game to attack with, but I think I played it properly. You can comment below whether you think I did or not. I could have attacked with it the one turn. Perhaps I should have, but I think pulling it back and making my opponent use resources was the better move. It set me up probably long term with the game. It would have been satisfying to get an attack with the EX, but got to play smart for the game too. So I go second. If I can get a Cresselia in the active, that will be really nice. I guess I want to... I'll throw out the Mimikyu EX. I do have Forest Seal Stone in a V Pokemon, so that's not bad. So I can get a Cresselia into play now. They're going to set up well. I'm in a lot of trouble. Let's be honest, I'm in trouble here. But, Mimikyu could be useful. Obviously, I'm going to be vulnerable to gusting, so they're getting the two in the discard pile, the two Archeops in the discard. I'm going to have to Drapion probably for Forest Seal Stone. Although I could search for, I do have a Quick Ball and a Hisuian Heavy Ball. Those might be the better cards. I need to get a V into play to use Forest Seal Stone most likely. All right, well, they didn't get any energy down, so not terrible. I will go with the Heavy Ball, see what I have. Let's see what else is prized. A Training Court, a VMAX. Okay. So we'll toss him down. I will attach to guarantee. Let me get... I don't think I need Drapion this matchup, so let me get Cresselia now. Let me see what my switching possibilities are. 2 Rope, 2 Air Balloon. Okay. That's very solid, so I don't need to play the Training Court. I like to keep that around. So Marnie, and then I will get an Air Balloon or a Rope. I think Air Balloon is probably what I want. Let me throw down another V, since I've got a Fog Crystal. Use Star Alchemy. Get Air Balloon, then he becomes a pivot for me. Now, I'm probably going to retreat. I'm probably going to accelerate to Mimikyu, so I'm probably attacking with Mimikyu next turn. Don't play the Pumpkaboo. Search for 3 energy. That's Crescent Glow's a very nice attack. I will power up Mimikyu. And, Lugia likes to accelerate a lot of energies with Archeops to their Pokemon, so potential for a lot of damage. So on Lugia, I'm looking at doing... let's think. They need 4 if they're attacking with Lugia, and I have 3, so that's 7. 7 times 3, so 210. Doesn't get the knockout, but gets me to the point where I can finish it off pretty easily the next turn, hopefully. So I have Flannery, which, not the most useful card here, but maybe what I have to work with. I assume they'll knock me out. If they don't knock out my Cresselia, I can attach an energy and do the 120 damage. So they play Aurora Energy, which isn't a surprise, but so I know to look out for maybe a card like Yveltal or something there. I'm a bit surprised they discarded the Aurora Energy. Special energies obviously is something when you play Lugia you have to watch out for. You don't want to run out of special energies. That gets you in a lot of trouble. So let's see. I imagine they're going to attack with Lugia. They only have one card in hand, so they probably aren't doing too much. All right, well they're attaching too powerful. I don't love that on their part. I think that might be a mistake. So they have the V-Guard energy. All right, so I can attack. They're obviously not going to Marnie. They're not going to boss me. I have Lumineon, so that's solid also. I have Rod, but there's no reason to use that at this point in the game. So I send up Mimikyu. Now, it would have been nice to be able to get, if I could get another some more energy on Mimikyu, I could get the one shot potentially, but that's not going to happen. So let me Lumineon. I'm going to probably research this turn, I believe. But show all to research. What's the Pokemon? So I have a V and 3 more, and 3 VMAXs. So I probably want to throw down my other V if I can. So let me Fog Crystal. Throw down the Shadow Rider. And I will attach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 3 is 180. So it doesn't get me there anyway. So I will attach there. Let me just look at there. I guess I throw the energy back. Why not? I don't think I need Cresselia or Drapion. So, but you know, the deck lives off of energy. It's an energy beast. It just eats energy day and night, basically. So, good. I get to use my ability. I could. Trying to think what I want to do here. I'm trying to think for a minute whether I want to quick ball. I think obviously I didn't do that. Oh, that's a nice card. So I can get another VMAX into play. I think I want to do that. So I'll get rid of quick ball. I need the energy. I kind of like Serena. I'll get rid of Serena. I might regret that, but I have Pal Pad to recover it. I don't know. Maybe I should have ditched the Pal Pad. That was my other consideration. So I can accelerate another energy this turn, which is nice. Get a third energy there. All right, that's nice. I'm not going to use Ultra Ball now because I can't actually. I mean, I could hit in for 30 and send someone else up, but I don't think I want to do that. I think I will smack into him for 210. Now my opponent could Cheryl. That's always a possibility. My opponent's up on prizes. I'm not in a great spot here. Did get to use the EX, and it was useful. Obviously, I didn't get the knockout, though. So that's obviously not great. I could have retreated into the Shadow Rider. But I don't think that was the play. Oh, so they have Blissey. So I might want to try to get back the Mimikyu EX. I assume it's going to get knocked out. I'm going to send up Shadow Rider. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll have like 7 energy. Oh, they're gusting somebody up. Oh, well, I don't think they have the knockout there. So that's actually pretty nice. Yeah, they're going to come up short here. So that's good. Do I have energy in the discard? No, I'm just trying to see my access. Right now, I don't really have access to energy. So I wish I had kept the Serena at this moment. Wow. Now they've... I don't really understand that, I got to say. I mean, so 220... I mean, they're going to one-shot me. That's just insane. But I don't get that at all. But that's what they wanted to do. That's their choice. So I clearly have knockout. I mean, I'm doing 300 damage. I think I want to get the V back into play and the energy. So let me do that. I want my V back. I want the VMAX. I want the energy. I want the energy. I still have 1 energy. I've set myself up pretty well, I think, here. So let me Training Court first. And then I can accelerate to him. I'll accelerate to my VMAX on the bench. All right, got a Pumpkaboo and an Ultra Ball. So I don't... all right, so I need to discard. I need to get another VMAX into play for sure. So do I get rid of this guy. I'll get rid of the Pal Pad. Give myself the most options, I think, in terms of Pokemon draw, because I would like to get another V into play this turn. Although it didn't work because I don't have any energy, so I'm being silly here. But that's okay, I guess. We'll see what happens. So take a knockout, but my opponent is going to win the game this turn, right? So I guess that was a foolish play on my part. Did take a prize, 2 prizes with my Mimikyu EX. Right now they're doing what, 220, so they just need 1 more energy, and they have 8, 9, 10, 11. So they should have an energy in deck. Now I guess they're just showing off at this point. I assume, because they could have just accelerated to the active there. Once they accelerate to active, I will concede. They didn't need to do the Listy play. So anyway, so I got off the EX. Probably was better not to have used the EX, but it's a very solid deck. Shadow Rider is a very solid deck, and I do think the Mimikyu EX has some value. It might have been, I'm not sure that was the optimal way to play it in that last game. Kind of forced it maybe a little bit, but it also had some safety to it also. That last one was a tough matchup. So Shadow Rider solid deck. The Mimikyu EX is a decent tech. I'm not sure if the deck is better for it. Some situations it probably is. So if you want to pick up the first EX card, it's there and live in the shop, and get it and try it out. Take care.